Jim Malone here. It is Dallas Trading Floor, and it is a Wednesday, July 20th. It is Inauguration Day. We're going to have a new president inaugurated today, looks like. So we're going to get into the slides. Interestingly enough, the market direction has continued up, and the Nasdeq has made a all-time high, which is very interesting. S&P's up, so is the Dow Jones, and so it seems to be kind of a rally. We'll see if we can hold the rally for another day to kind of see what's going on there. But definitely the market is up, and the Nasdaq has reached a new high. I just want to kind of show you this slide. We're up 259.32, or about almost 2%, when this slide was taken at 13,456.50. So significantly, it seems like that has the Nasdaq. It seems like the money is flowing back into the Nasdaq. Tesla's was up a little bit today earlier, and GM has definitely been up as well. Just want to kind of show you the QQQ, which is the Nasdaq 100. This is the 100 largest stocks that are on the Nasdaq, and it is up significantly. There was a little bit of a gap up today, up 7.20. It's 20 cents. This is an ETF, and the critical the critical level is about 305 currently. That's where the 40-day line is. Just kind of want to show you that. So it is definitely, we're definitely in a confirmed uptrend. That is absolutely the case. As you can see, there was this upward movement. The volume is fairly low, but it's very significant that that we're up like this. So very interesting. It seems like now that things have been resolved, it seems like the market is digesting it and digesting it well. So very interesting on that. I also want to show you the Spider. This is the world's largest ETF, and it is basically it's an index fund of the S&P 500, and it is up today, not quite as much as the QQQ, but it's up 1.4% at 830 at 383.85, up $5.20. Again, this is interesting because this is made a little bit of a movement, and you can see it's in the upper trend. So it seems to be following this trend very nicely, and it's looking good. With the RS rating, you can tell, this is, right now the S&P 500 is stronger than the overall market. So very interesting as well on that. We continue to move higher. The question is, how high can we go? Who knows? But it does look like there's going to be another round of stimulus. So, that could be a factor on this. Kind of wanted to show you an upgrade today that Oppenheimer made on the price for Tesla. I did buy another 2 positions this morning. Significantly. When this slide was taken, it was basically at 847.20, and it has been up 69% since the pivot 41 days ago. So it seems like it sort of pulled back to the 10-day line, but it seems like it's going higher. The this is basically on Oppenheimer's analyst basically raising the target price to 1,036, and basically they're citing the leadership in self-driving technology and the improving China sales. So very interesting on that. We'll see how that we'll see what happens there. But I did move into another position on it. Also want to show you 2 other EV stocks. One EV stock that you probably know about, and the other one, it's kind of a mystery. And I just want to show you that I am invested in one of these as well. And this is basically, Tesla, of course, has been positive, as we all know. Everybody has been investing in Nio. This is the Chinese rival. And this is, Nio has done extremely well. But currently, as you can tell, it is down. And you see the trend on Nio is down. It's at 57.66. Now, instead of Nio, what I have done is I've moved. I did have some positions in Nio. I sold them. I have since moved them essentially to General Motors. General Motors is benefiting from the fact that they are the number 2 EV maker in China right now, and they're also the largest automobile maker overall because of their alliance with SAIC, which is the state-run automobile company in China. Also, GM has the capacity to build a lot of vehicles, and that seems to be the case. It's the relative strength is rising. It's at 89, as you can see. But what's significant here is the pickup in volume. With Nio, you see the volume is down, even though and the price is down a little bit. So it just seems to be languishing, kind of right at the pivot, 57.20. It's at 57.66. Whereas with General Motors, it's pulled way above the pivot, so it is being invested in by it seems to be being accumulated. The pivot, of course, for General Motors, 46.71. So that might be something to take into account if you're interested in some of the EV stocks, and you're looking at Tesla and you're going, wow, that's a lot per share. You might want to look at General Motors. The thing about General Motors is it's not going to be like a rocket ship like Nio or anything like that. But I think over time, given the fact that they have incredible ability to produce vehicles, I think over time it may turn out to be, possibly a good investment. We'll see. I'm in the stock myself. We'll see how that comes out. Anyways, I wanted to show you my holdings currently. I'm in Blink Charging. It's down a little bit. I have sold a 50 option. It is a January 29th 50 option. So looks like I may not get exercised on that one. Up in Progeny, but down a little bit today. Again, Tesla's up. When this slide was taken, it was 852.76. Now, the key level, I believe, for Tesla is right about 851. So the question is, if it can hold on to that, I think it's probably going to go higher, and especially with the fact that we did have an upgrade from Oppenheimer, and so that's looking pretty good. I have a call spread on Amazon, and it seems to be doing very well. I think that in the next few months, we're going to probably see Amazon do very well, and the call spread might be the way to go. That's why I did it, because I just didn't, at 32.48 a share, that was a little bit rich for my blood. So what I did is I did some call spreads there, and it's moved very nicely up. If you want to take a look at some of my information on how these put spreads work, I have a video that's available on YouTube that you can definitely take a look at, and so you could jump right over to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor to see kind of how I went into this particular bull put spread. So that might be something of interest to you. Taking a look at that. Okay, so we'll turn it over to the floor now and get into the questions. So let me go pull up the charts and let's get moving. Okay. Well, thanks for dropping by, everybody, and let's see if we can look at some good stuff. Okay, what should we do as Tesla comes up? This is a very good question with Tesla, and of course, earnings are coming soon. And normally I wouldn't be a buyer into earnings like this. I just, it breaks one of my fundamental rules. But in this case, I sold a call option. I sold a call option on that. It's a 990 call, and its expiration on that is February 19th. So I sort of hedged my bet a little bit. It may pull back a little bit. I was able to get almost $30 for the call. Actually, it was 29, I think 70, something like that. So I added a little bit of a downside protection. Unfortunately, this covered call strategy of hedging is really only available if you have in blocks of 100. So I don't know necessarily how helpful that will be. But let's take a look at the Tesla chart here and see kind of what's going on. Well, I'm going to show you the weekly chart, because that's where you always probably should start looking at at it. You can see we've had a little bit of a consolidation here. 800 is the key level, and it seems to be up to about 880 here, and it seems to be trading within this range. The question is, will it break higher? Well, I do think it potentially will break higher based on the 30-minute chart. So let's take a look at that 30-minute chart. This is showing basically how it's being traded really basically in the last week. As you can see, we sort of had a low here about 825. It's since moved up, and you can see there's a little bit of a movement here upward. Now we've pulled back essentially to 850. It's currently at 849.30, so it's still up, but it looks as if the trend is up ever so slightly. I do believe that we will break the we will break this level here, and I don't know if you can see it. There has been a lot of selling, as you can see. There's a big sell spike, but let's look back at the daily chart to see, kind of give us some input there. It seems to be holding this 850 level. I do suspect that that going into earnings is only 7 days, we are going to see it possibly move a little bit above that. Now the question is, can it hold that 850 level? Because I do believe that 850 is a key level. If it moves beyond that, I think it will move up probably to about the 900 level, or maybe the 880 level. The 880 level was the high that it made, its all-time high. So we're very close to the all-time high. Not necessarily, I probably, unless you can hedge your position like I did, I probably wouldn't recommend buying into earnings. I probably would be waiting a little bit, with earnings, just for safety. But I do think that we're gonna see some more action on Tesla. I just think that it's one of these long-term cyclical trends, and it's just one of those long-term cyclical trends. So I really appreciate the question. I have a question from the Rain Ninja. I like that, Rain Ninja. That's good on TikTok. Basically, Rain Ninja says, "Is Intel a threat to AMD?" Well, let's take a look at Intel first. INTC is a symbol, and for so many years, Intel was just the undisputed champion. Just nothing could stop them. But now, it did move up a little bit. It's at 58.72. So it has been in a downward trend. Let's look at the weekly chart, because that's going to give us a better look at it. Intel has sort of been in this funk. It's sort of in this cup pattern, and there is a buy point at 65.11 on it. Currently, it's at 58.73. So it's sort of been in this kind of funk as of late. Really, one of the things that there are some danger signs when it comes to Intel. The relative strength is only a 15. They had declining sales, and for a leader, that's a problem. They also had a situation where the number of funds have been disinvesting. So this is not looking as good for Intel as it used to be. The funds, though, have been the funds are 34% of ownership is funds, and the profits have been excellent. Cash flow $7.29 per share, which is excellent if you consider it's a $59 share, and it's receiving almost $7. So that is a huge return, much better than you would ever get in any kind of bond or anything like that. So the profitability of Intel is really good. But remember, in growth stock, in investing, we're not really looking so much, unfortunately, at today's news. We're looking at tomorrow's news and what's going to happen tomorrow. And with AMD just has a better chart. And I was to show you the chart for AMD. I'm going to show you the weekly chart, but you can see it has this nice ascension. Oops, it's just a nice. It's an ascending chart. But still, the relative strength is 74, but much better than the Intel chart, which is like 15. So we also have with AMD, we have increasing sales. Now, hopefully, there we go. Sometimes I have trouble with my little pointer, but you'll notice that it has a nice increasing sales. Funds are 44% in AMD, which is actually more than Intel, which is interesting. But and we do have increasing fund ownership here, whereas we have decreasing fund ownership in Intel. So why do I want to point this out to you, and why am I so interested in this? Well, one of the main reasons I am so interested in this is that it's the funds that move a stock typically, with the exception of some of the Chinese stocks. As funds move into or out of an issue, that's where you get your real, that's where you get your real price appreciation. And definitely with the case with AMD, it's definitely in a better situation than Intel is right now. And it's amazing that's true. The checklist on AMD is 8 out of 9, which is excellent. And the fund ownership is increasing, again, as I said. Now, here's part of the thing is overall, the industry ranking has been going a little bit down. It's still 49 out of 197, so that's pretty good. But, that's one thing you got to look for. If I had to choose between Intel and AMD, I'm afraid it would be AMD at this point, just because, just based on the pure charts. Mr. Singh, thank you. Your thoughts on Tesla? Well, I do think that, I did buy some more Tesla today, but I did hedge it. I did hedge it with a call. I sold a call, a 990 call, for expiration on February 19th. I did purchase some more shares as Tesla moved above the moved above the 850 mark, because I'm always trying to buy on strength. So I did buy on that, and I did it, but I immediately hedged it with a call, a 990 call. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We did get an upgrade, very nice upgrade in terms of Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer upgraded today. They're looking at a target price for Tesla at 1037. So I'm still pretty bullish on it, but I think it's starting. I think it's getting a little extended. We have to be careful. That's why you want to set your stop losses, and you want to hedge it. You want to hedge your position. I have half of my positions hedged using a stop loss. Currently, the stop loss I have in is at 795. Now, with the with my position today, I hedged it. I did a little bit different hedging technique, and that was to sell a call. So it's a covered call on that for the hedge, and that gave me about 30 points in terms of protection. So that's kind of an interesting way to do it. But I do think that Tesla is continuing its movement up. If you'll notice, and I want to show you this, in terms of the sector, Tesla is, and this is the reason I'm investing in General Motors at this time as well. I just want to show you the sector. This is the number one industry sector currently. I want to show you this. I don't know if you can see this or not, but you'll see industry rank out of 197 different sectors. We're in the number one with the automobile manufacturers. That's the reason why I'm so heavily invested in the automobile manufacturers, because at least from what I'm seeing in the market, the funds and everybody is moving into this sector, whether that be Nio, GM, or Tesla. So I'm overweight in the automobile manufacturer sector. I like to be investing in the top sectors, typically 1 through 5 or 1 through 10. Some of the software companies have fallen a little bit, but that's the reason why I'm sort of overweight in the automotive, just because that is at least currently, it is the top performing sector. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I still think that Tesla is a good buy, even at this incredibly high price. But I do think that there are starting to be some alternatives. And of course, one of the ones I've brought up is General Motors. I know that General Motors sounds like a really dowdy stock. I've never owned General Motors before. I'll be honest with you. In my whole investing career, I've never owned General Motors. But here's the thing: what's happening is it comes down to value add, and in this economy, it's very hard to sell a product that has as much value add as an automobile. So this is one of the reasons why Microsoft is investing heavily in GM's self-driving technology, which I think will be huge. I mean, it's kind of like GPS, and it's coming, and everybody knows it's coming, um, but it's still here. So this is one of the reasons why automotive is just getting sort of outsized investment, at least for right now. I kind of wanted to show you the chart on GM, and the reason it's important. This is the weekly chart. As you can see, it's moved up very nicely as well. Now, will it continue? Who knows? I mean, you never can tell. But the relative strength is increasing, as you can see this from the line here. Oops. Let's see if I can get that arrow working. But again, I want to show you again, number one sector currently. And the top industries in the group are automotive manufacturers at 99. So truck is a little bit lower than that, and then replacement parts are a little bit lower than that. So two of the sectors that I'm very interested in right now are truck and automobile manufacturers. This is just purely using the charts for that. As you can see, this is the competition. We have Nio at 99 relative strength. A company that I don't know much about, FUV. Of course, Tesla's in there at 98, and Li Auto, and then Build Your Dreams also. That's listed in Hong Kong. I've been in and out of Nio. It seems to be quite strong. But to hedge my bets, I'm kind of looking more towards the bigger companies that can deliver worldwide, and then really right now that's GM, to be honest. Okay, so thank you very much for that question. Very, very good question. Just said he transformed his Tesla short positions into a put position. That's interesting. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be short Tesla. I don't think it's wise, because it's not so much that Tesla is so great. It's that there's a fundamental transformation of industry going on here. Tesla currently is the leader in autonomous vehicles, and yes, it's important that it's electric. That's a great thing. I don't think that's the main thing, though. I think the main thing is autonomous driving, data collection. It is a total platform for really the future, and so the companies that are going to be big in this are going to be very, very big. I mean, Volkswagen is spending billions of dollars. Basically, they're trying to undercut the prices in Europe for the Tesla vehicles. Will they be able to do it? Well, they have a lot of backing from the German from Germany. But do I think it's going to go on forever? No, I really don't. I really don't, because I do think that once a lead is established, it's going to be very hard to break Tesla's lead. So I can see why he's putting the puts out there, because I think long term it's something you're probably going to want to own. So that's my opinion. Great, Brian. Looks like Riot might have a reversal date. Let's look at Riot. I really like Riot blockchain because it is, of course, in the blockchain space, which is another absolutely transformational technology that that is going to be a big thing. Let's look at the weekly chart first on Riot blockchain to see kind of if this is true. We still have an extremely strong relative strength at 98, so I'm liking that. But it looks like we've pulled back below the 21-day line. Let's look at the daily to see if we do have indeed a reversal. Let's take a look. This is not a reversal. I'm sorry to say. I'm sorry to tell you this, Brian. This unfortunately, this unfortunately is not a reversal. Basically, this is a falling knife. I'm afraid to say, yeah. This has two things that I don't like. It's 22.35. It's down today. Of course, it's fallen from the come on there. Click. There we go. Okay. Click there. Okay. Well, all right. It's fallen from the 10-day line, and the volume is high. So that's not looking good. I don't think this is a reversal, Byron. I think that you maybe want to continue on the watch list on this one a little bit more. I just don't think you want to buy this. This thing may fall as low as $20 based on this chart. That's where the 21-day line is. It could even fall below that. So be very careful Wait for it to completely move all the way down, and then a reversal you'll see as it moves above, the 21-day line. This could, I don't think it's going to fall as low as I don't think this is going to fall as low as the 40-day line. That's the red line here. That's the red line, but it's definitely not a buyable. You don't want to buy this thing. Wait for it to possibly reverse. And right now, Riot Blockchain is just not a buy. Okay, good time to buy Nio. Good, thank you, Mr. Singh. Nio. Here's the thing about. I think overall, I think in the long term, Nio is a winner. I really do. But the problem right now with Nio, at least tactically, and I'm just talking about tactics here as much as anything else, it is in a short-term decline. Not saying that that's bad, but let's go to the daily chart here. Here's the thing. Here's a little concern that I have about buying Nio at this moment. Not overall. I mean, I think you should watch this one. You see the pivot point on it is 57.20, and you can see it's fallen, and it's sort of bounced right at this pivot point. I think it may go lower. It looks like it's fallen below the 10-day line. I think it potentially could go as low as the 21-day line. I think this is a classic cup, and then the handle is forming like this. Okay, see how that handle is sort of forming, but it's not time yet. You want to wait for it to pull back and then reverse, and then as the handle is reversing upwards and it moves beyond the 57.20, that's when you want to buy it. Right now at 57.71, I don't think you want to do anything yet. Let this thing pull lower. I think it's probably going to move down a little bit more, and then when it reverses, then you want to set your buy stop limit order at 57.20 plus 10 cents, and that's where you're going to get the pop. But right now we have a cup. We're forming a handle. Let the handle form. Let the handle reverse, and then I think you might have a buy. So this is Nio is definitely a watch list. It's not a good time to buy it right now because I do think it's pulling back a little bit, and we just have to be a little bit careful on that. But I do think it's potential. It's set to move higher. I think this whole sector is going to move higher. The automobile manufacturers, it has been in the last about quarter or so been really been really good. I have a question from TikTok here, and this is Aziz. I'm sorry, 184. I apologize. I can't totally make out everything on your handle, but just want to answer this question. Nio is going down. Should I buy more? Never buy when it's moving down, because unfortunately sometimes it won't stop. Here's the thing: you want to wait on it. You want to wait on this a little bit and wait until you get a reversal. And if you get a reversal, I think you're going to have a very nice, a very nice reversal on it. So, but right now, not the time to buy Nio. It's time to watch this Nio, and I think that might work really better for you right now. Wait until it reverses, and then when it reverses higher above that 57.20 line, which is the buy point, then you want to buy it. But you want to buy it at the buy point, 157.70 plus 157.20 plus 10 cents, or 57.30. Now here's the thing. I know that right now it's higher than that. Don't buy it. Let it pull back. Let it pull below the buy point, reverse, and then as it's reversing, you want to buy it at the buy point, 57.20 plus 10 cents, or 57.30. I know that's complicated. I've put together a video on sort of how to use the buy stop limit to buy it as it's reversing. But I think it's really good thing. Okay, so we have another question from TikTok. Do you think Tesla stock will go up soon? Well, actually, Tesla stock has been going up, so it's going up right now. I don't know what you mean by soon, but right now Tesla is today it's up $6.42. So I think it's continuing to move up. That's one of the reasons I bought it today. Who knows? I mean, who knows with Tesla? But I think if you're betting with Elon Musk, you probably have a very good chance of being a winner, because he certainly has produced some very good results. Anyways, at least for right now, I think it is going up. So good thing to take a look at it. All right, so Brian, great. Are you still bullish on GBTC? You know what? I still am bullish on GBTC, but I did, just for full disclosure, I took a loss on my GBTC position. I bought it as it moved above 40. It pulled back 5, and I sold out because I always use the stop loss rule and try to use the 7% stop loss rule. This one caught me a little bit more. I took a little bit of a bath, almost a 9% bath, but I still do believe that Bitcoin is going to make a run higher, and the reason I do is because of all this money printing. And I think, gold doesn't provide as much of a hedge that Bitcoin is. So I do think Bitcoin is going to go higher. I got shaken out. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I have pretty strict rules about taking losses. I'll just take a loss and then wait for a more opportune time to come back in. But just because you've gotten washed out of position doesn't mean you can't come back into the position. And I am very bullish long term, at least mid and long term on Bitcoin, because I do think that we're going to see, unfortunately, we're going to see a lot of inflation. And but the question is, when is it going to show up? When is it going to show up? And that's always the question. So I am still very bullish on Bitcoin. I just sold out, and the reason I did was because, I didn't buy it at just the right place. I mean, I bought it as it was moving above 40. It pulled back, and then of course today it pulled back again. So I closed my position to wait for a better time. So hopefully we'll get that. Hi, Jim. I'm doing well. Thoughts on Apple? Great question. Here's the thing about the FANG stocks. The FANG stocks used to run in unison. It used to be, they all went up. But as of late, not all the FANGs are created equal. Now, we do have a bump up today with Apple. And I think, Apple's a fundamentally good stock. But I've been shaken out of Apple twice. I'm just going to wait on it. I'm going to show you the daily chart here with Apple. I've been shaken out twice on this one. We still have a handle here. We have a cup and we have a handle, but we don't have the reversal. So unfortunately, I am still, I won't probably be considering Apple until it breaks the 137.98 neckline, because until it does. And that's sort of the cup with handle. That's sort of how it works. It cups for a long period of time, and then there's a handle, which is it's forming right now, and then usually it bounces off of one of these lines. It's bouncing off the 21-day exponential. And so if this keeps up, then as it moves above this 138.75, 79 plus 10 cents, this is right where I would buy it, right here. Okay, sort of, you can see sort of where I'm interested in buying it. I'm interested in buying it at 138.79 plus 10 cents, or 138.89. So that's kind of my thoughts on Apple. I still like it, but the ratings are lower. I mean, it's definitely seeing a little bit of pressure. There are some of the FANGs that I think you want to be careful with, and I'm going to show you the chart of Facebook. Facebook has pulled up today a little bit. Because overall but this trend is still down. It did bounce off the 200-day. So sometimes that's a very good place to buy a stock, but the relative strength is only 38. So be careful with some of the FANG stocks. Now, I'm in Amazon with a spread. I don't have actually the shares. I just have the contracts, and that one seems to be doing well. I do think that if the pandemic lockdown continues, Amazon, and by the way, Amazon blew away their numbers. No surprise that they did, because everybody is ordering Amazon, so it's up strongly today. And I do have a video of that put put spread that I did put on it. But I do think that we may be seeing a reversal for Amazon. Not sure. It's a little bit too early, but the relative strength line is looking good, and there's a lot of buying volume. So that's my take on on the FANGs. The FANGs aren't going to be as easy, I don't think, this time as they were the last time, but they're still a great place to look for appreciation. Really good place for appreciation. All right, just sold Palantir. Out of your watch list, which still looks to go, still looks to go in the most short term. Thanks, Harris. Thanks for walking my watch list all together. I'm going to try to revise my watch list with a ready list, because some of the things that I have been in, probably are not as good. Now, Palantir, I still like Palantir. I have been shaken out of this one numerous times. I still like the stock a lot. But it is pulling back, and you just don't want to fight the trend. And right now, unfortunately, the trend is a downward trend, at least for the time being. Over the long term, I think this one is a winner, but it's just unmistakable when you look at the chart, is that we're at least in a short term downtrend. Now, can it bounce off the 40-day line? Probably. And it looks like it may be doing that now, but you can't, but there was a pullback today. I think you're just going to have to wait to see kind of what the direction is. Unfortunately, I don't like this direction. I like to be in this kind of direction, in this leg. But we are pretty far extended from the IPO of 725. It's at 2632. It's still a strong stock, but right now you don't want to be buying it. Probably a watch list. I would set my stop loss at about 23.75, and that's pretty much where the 40-day line is. So that's where I would be setting my stop loss on Palantir. But I still think it's a good stock, and definitely worth your time for it. But I wouldn't have it as one of my main holdings. By the way, I did sell a stock to make room for more Tesla. I did sell my 10x Genomics. I still think that is a excellent stock. I sold it only just to make room in terms of my margin account. But I want to kind of show you the chart for TXG. It's pulled back a little bit. I'm kind of glad I did sell it, because it seems like it started to pull back. But I like this stock a lot. 10x Genomics. It's one that you might want to look at. 66% funds in it, and on the weekly chart, it's looking fairly strong on the weekly chart. Relative strength of 87. So, but I did sell that one today. I'll be honest. I did sell it, and when I sold it, it seems to have retreated since then. So, and I did it. I didn't do it because of weakness. I just did it because I was looking at adding some more Tesla, and I needed some more margin on it. So, all right. Hey, do you offer any online courses? You know what, Alex? I am working on an online course. I seem like I make a little bit of progress, not a lot, but I am working on it. But you know what? I am in my on the website. We do have on YouTube at youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. I do have a series called Chart School, and I do have some short videos in there, and I'm trying to flesh that one out. So that's a great question. I really appreciate you watching. That's a great question, and I will have more with a kind of a course that can help your trading. And really, the one of the main things to do here is if you are learning, want to learn how to trade, there are some great books out there. But one of the ones I absolutely recommend, and you can get this by going to my website, to DallasTradingFloor.com. And on the Learn to Trade bookshelf, it's How to Make Money in Stocks, a Winning System, Good Times or Bad. So let me see if I can pull that up. And this is the one I really, this book really helped me a whole lot in terms of learning to trade well. And let's see if I can put something up on the Learn to Trade bookshelf. Well, heck, it doesn't seem to be wanting to do that. Let's see if I can get a window that will let me do that. Kind of show you that really quickly. Let's look over there. Learn to Trade bookshelf. Yeah, and this is the book that I want to kind of highlight. It's called How to Make Money in Stocks, a Winning System, Good Times or Bad. And it's available on my website, on the Dallas Trading Floor website. which is which is super easy to pull up. It's just www.DallasTradingFloor.com, and on the Learn to Trade bookshelf, there's a link to this one, How to Make Money in Stocks: A Winning System. Good times or bad. It's definitely worth taking a look at. It's one of the books that I used when I was it's one of the books that I used when I was learning how to trade, and it talks about the CAN SLIM method, and it really is a great place to start if you're just learning to trade. And kind of some of the lingo that I use is straight out of that, and so it's kind of hard to understand, like cup with handle and all this stuff, but a lot of it's covered there. So let's take a look at Harris. Actually, let's take a question from somebody else. I really appreciate your question, Harris, but I just have to be able to take more questions from everybody else because they're watching. A threat to Intel. Okay, we did that question. Let's see, AMC. Okay, AMC is kind of a sad story. I mean, I think that the COVID thing, and this is painful for me because my first job when I was a teenager was as a projectionist at a theater. I just think that they're just going to go away of the buggy whip and the dodo bird, unfortunately. I mean, they'll be around. There'll be some drive-ins out there. There'll be some novelty stuff, but as a business, this is just a horrible chart. And it's got a relative strength of 3. This is just something you just don't want to own. Here's the problem. A lot, and unfortunately, when you're starting out in stocks, a lot of people make this mistake. They say, "Wow, AMC, I've heard of that. That's great. I'm going to go buy some shares in it. It's cheap right now." This is not a bargain. When you're buying stocks, you really want to be careful and not do the bargain hunting thing because stocks usually are cheap for a reason, and unfortunately, AMC's business is just basically going away. And as you can see, this is just a horrible chart, and it has a relative strength of 3. They're just losing all kinds of money, and the funds are just abandoning them like you read about. At $2.96, I think they'll probably be bankrupt within 6 months. That's my my opinion of them. And of course, you don't want to this is just a horrible chart. In every way, it's just it's not going to get any better with AMC, and a lot of people are going to think that, wow, it's a cheap stock, I'm going to go buy it, and they're going to lose all their money. So I don't recommend AMC, and I haven't recommended it for a long time. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. One of those things. Noel, is it too late to add some positions in GM? Thanks, you. I'm up today. $300. Nice. Thanks, Noel. Great. I'm glad. I always like to hear it when you're up money because, that makes me happy. Let's look at GM. I did add some GM this week. Now the question is it's pretty far extended right now. I'll be totally honest with you. It's getting pretty far extended, and normally GM shouldn't act like this. Okay. This is a huge industrial stock that just for years, it just flatlined. It didn't do anything. It just didn't go anywhere. But all of a sudden, people are discovering that, hey, EVs are real. Microsoft is investing in GM, in their autonomous driving because it's going to be big. And where can you go in that? Well, let's take a look. Let's kind of look at the weekly chart. Now, a lot of people are going to say, why would I invest in something like GM? And the only reason I can tell you is that the automotive manufacturing sector right now is number one. And I'm concentrating basically on 3 stocks. Tesla, of course, everybody knows that. GM and Nio. Right now, Nio is pulling back a little bit. It's still a good stock, no questions about it. But I think the 800-pound gorilla, to be honest with you, the 800-pound gorilla is GM. Now, I actually own a GM truck. I'll be honest with you. It's an old one. It's 30 years old. Seriously. It still works great. All manual. It's a very good product. I'll be honest. Part of the problem with GM is that for years and years they didn't make products that anyone really wanted to buy. And they were good products, but they weren't stylish, and all that stuff. But I think with EVs, it's changing. Before there was a Tesla, there was the EV1, and it was very successful. and they killed it at GM. GM has management issues, not technical issues. Technically, I think they're a great company. Management-wise, they tend to make things that people don't want, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's changing. So, can you get in on GM? Here's the thing about it. It is up $5.88 this week, about 11%, which is tremendous. I actually probably want to buy more. I've made 2 buys, and I'm probably going to buy some more. But here's the thing about it. I just don't know if there's going to be a pullback on this one anytime soon. But I do think that if it dips, if it dips to 50 again, I think you could buy it. It's really far extended. Here's the thing: if you do buy it, it's probably going to pull back a little bit. So you have to be willing to possibly do that. Can you buy it at this level? Here's the thing: wait for a down day. Now, I don't normally say this for almost any other stock because I don't like buying on down days, but I do think that GM is so significant in terms of its potential position in the automobile manufacturing market for EVs that it's just sort of worth doing. You can buy at this level, but be very careful because if you buy at this level, it's probably going to pull back. Where would I want to buy it? Well, I'd like to see it back down to 50 before I buy it, but that may not happen with GM. With the kind of volume that I'm looking at, a lot of funds are going to move into this. The thing is, once GM has a viable product in this space, funds are going to move into it because it's a relatively safe bet and it's much cheaper than Tesla is. Because I think Tesla's going to be number 1 in the EV space. I think that is absolutely a done deal. But GM is going to be probably number 2. So, and I think they're going to do better. Believe it or not, I think GM is probably going to do better in this space than Volkswagen, Mercedes, and a lot of other companies. So, in the long story short, yes, I do think it's worth getting into. Try to see if it forms a base. I think it will. I think 55 or 60, it's still viable. But it's hard. This one's going to be really hard to buy. The correct buy point is 46.71. It's very far extended from that. It is extended right now. So I'd wait for a pullback. That's what I would say. I would absolutely wait for a pullback on this one. But it as you can see, it's sort of becoming, at least for right now. We'll see how it performs. We'll see if it moves. I would be very surprised if GM moves above to 80. I'd be very surprised, but you never know because it's such a big company. So, anyways, that's my take on GM for right now. I think wait for it to base a little bit and see what happens. All right, got a great question. Thanks for NIRB 123. Polar Power, POLA. And let's look at POLA. POLA is the symbol, and that is Polar Power. Look at that! Wow, it's a relatively cheap stock. These are kind of, it's got a 99 relative strength, but the RS line is pointing downwards, so that tells us something. It looks as if this might have been a short squeeze. Let's look at the weekly chart on this. Yeah, look at that! Wow, that's an interesting chart. I kind of want to see the monthly chart. I want to kind of see the whole. Yeah. Okay. So basically, this has been around since 2017, and then it's been kind of moving down, and now it seems to be kind of getting there. You know what? Believe it or not, this looks like, based on this chart, it's making a new high. I'm really liking that. $6.19 in the last month has been its increase. I'm liking that. I'm going to look at a few things here. I just don't know a lot about this. This is an issue I have 55% on the checklist. Not the best. Let's look at the ownership. It's got declining funds. Industry sector. I like the 2031 industry sector, but here's the thing. I think Nairobi, I think you're going to have to probably watch this one. I don't think it's ready. I mean, you might be able to buy it at this level. But I do think that, we really need to kind of take a little bit of a step back because this one might be not quite ready. I think I think Plug Power is better. Let me look at Plug, PLUG. I think this is the better stock of the two. Kind of take a look. Look, Power. And, this is the one I kind of like more. It's a more expensive stock. I mean, it's 62.50. And it has been pulling back, but it's still above the 10-day line, and it's got a relative strength of 99. I think, if you're looking for this space, I think you want to be with this one. This also got a much better industry rank at 197. And it's number 4, so it's excellent in terms of the sector. One of the things I do think we're seeing some sector rotation right now, and in sector rotation, you want to sort of move your money kind of where the whales are moving their money. Right now, the number one sector, at least for today, is the automotive sector, the automobile manufacturers, and this is primarily, this is but the problem with this sector is it's not. It's sort of the tale of two cities here. You've got Tesla, this is getting all the love. You've got Nio, which is doing great, but it's pulling back a little bit. And then you possibly have an upcomer like GM. Ford, unfortunately, is way back in the pack. I'd like to see it better, but it's just not there. And some of the other ones, aren't there as well, like Toyota. Unfortunately, I mean, it's amazing how quickly Toyota. Tesla is more than Toyota now, which is absolutely amazing considering Toyota is just a giant company. And but it just shows you that things are changing. This is one of the automobile manufacturing is still the industry that most countries crave because it has the ability to transform all kinds of industries, and it's a key industry, and the fact that it's reviving is actually quite a good thing, to be honest. Okay, so let's see thoughts on REGI. Let's look at REGI. REGI, and that is, I don't know this one off. Yeah, renewable energy. Yeah, this is a good sector. Renewable energy. This is at 91.26. Boy, this is in the alternative and other energy areas. This has just done great. This is definitely an area. Oh, look at that! Wow, look at that chart. That's a nice chart. Let's take a look for everyone. Let's pull it up here. Yeah, and I was looking at my side monitor there to see it, but 96 on the relative strength. That's excellent. It's moving right up the 21-day line. The last pivot on this one on a consolidation base, it's a stage 2 pivot, 65.65, and it's up currently this week, $11.23. So at 91.26. Can you buy it at this level? You know what? I think we have to wait for consolidation on this, but this is a good stock. Now there are some troubling signs though here. One of them is the fact that they have basically the same sales. So the sales are flat, but we do have increasing fund ownership, so that's very good. And we have strong cash flow, and that's always a good thing. 76% of renewable energy group is owned by funds, so that's actually a very good thing. So overall, I like the stock. I like the chart. In terms of strategically, a place to buy it, not a great place to buy it right now because we just don't. This consolidation base was at 65.65. We're sort of moving up to this. The 21-day line. You possibly could buy it if it pulled back to about 80 and then reversed, and that would be right at the 21-day exponential. And that's this green line here. That you possibly could buy it, but there's some strong support. There are people buying this, so again, just a tough one here. I would wait for a pullback on this one. I would watch this one. This is very strong, and it's a good stock. It's just that I just don't want to buy it in the top of the channel. I want to wait for it to pull back, possibly somewhere at least in the mid 80s and then reverse. That's where I want to see it. But it's a good stock, and if you're buying at this level, you have to be willing to. It may pull back $5-10 easily, but I think it's a very good stock. The best strategy I would do is wait for a pullback, then a reversal, and then buy it. But it's definitely buyable. SKLZ. Let's look at SKLZ. SKLZ, and that is skills, and it's basically interesting. It's a mobile game platform. I didn't know much about this one, but I like the area. It's 28 96. It's up. Wow, it's up $2 today. That is tremendous. Look at this. This is an IPO. Look at it. 94 relative strength. Wow. That is interesting. I'm going to put this one down. I'm going to grab my pad here because this is one I want to look at, do a little bit more research on this one. Not familiar with it. SKLZ. It looks as if it's in a very good area. Let's look at the 84 out of 197. So that's still good in terms of the relative strength. In terms of the sector. It's got a minimum rating of 6 out of 9, so I'm okay there. The question is, how does it stack up in the group? It looks like Nintendo is in the same group as, Gravity Company seems to be the leader. Let's look at Gravity Company. Let me just look at this one really quickly. Yeah, this one's a little bit more expensive. This is a Korean developer of massive multiplayer games. It's pulled back to the 10-day line. Interesting area. You know what? I would probably be more interested with skills. I would probably take a look at GRVY. I think that's the one that's a little bit stronger, but I can't see anything really that bad with skills. So looks fairly good to me. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Thanks for Jay's Fresh Market. Thoughts on EXPI? We discussed it a long time back. Okay, this is an interesting one. This is the Exit Realty EXPI, and they're doing very, very well. I mean, it's up $14 today. I cannot figure out why, but it is. It was definitely been on my radar, and I probably should have bought it. You can't buy everything, but it came through with very nice earnings. It's up 100% their earnings, so they're doing something right. It's got a relative strength of 99. There was a buy point on it a little while back. Let's look at the daily chart. There was a buy point in the 60s. Look at that. Wow. 63.90, 83.95 was the last kind of area. And yeah, it was, this is sort of a base on base, the cup here, and then it had a handle, pulled back on the handle, and then boom, it shot up. So I cannot figure out why it is doing so well, but they are doing great. Can you buy this thing? Well, you know what? Looking at the chart, this is looking pretty strong. This is looking very strong. It's 62 out of 197 on the sector, so that's good. This looks very good. 22% fund, so it's definitely in the range. We've got increasing fund ownership. That's so important. Wow. Could I buy this one? Absolutely. This really, unfortunately, the place to buy this one was right as it moved above 83.95. And so, yeah, this one looks very good. But, again, it's a little bit extended for me right now in terms of buying it. But I like it. And, I don't think, I think you can watch this one. I think it's a little too extended. Unfortunately, you just can't find. There's a lot of stuff that's moving really nicely in the market right now. So, but it's a good stock. Hey, Cold Montreal. I love Montreal, by the way, Tom. I love Montreal, but I like to go there in the summer. but I do love Montreal. It's a great place, great city, and beautiful city too. Fuel cell energy. This is an interesting one too. Wow, you've come up with some very, very interesting fuel cell energy. It's down a little bit. Still 99 relative strength. It's earnings per share one day. Here's the thing with this one: we're too close into earnings right now. We want to be careful. We want to be careful coming into earnings like this. It's just wait for this one. Wait to go through earnings. See what happens. I suspect this will drop in earnings, but who knows? Because last quarter, they did have lower earnings, but you don't want to buy this one today. It's got a 66% checklist. Wait for it. See what happens tomorrow. See how it reacts to earnings, and then you might have a buy on this one. So, thank you for that question from beautiful Montreal. Thanks, Tom. All right. Well, it has come to an hour almost. It's almost an hour. I'm going to try to put together a better watch list for everyone here. I've been working on it. I've gotten distracted. A watch and ready list that might really help. If you want to get on the action trade alerts, and I'm going to be probably hopefully sending out to people that are on the action trade alerts sort of my watch and ready lists that I haven't inputted. It'll just be in a PDF for everyone. But in order to get that, you've got to subscribe, because that's how I get my mailing list. That's how I can send out. That's how I can send out the emails. But just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com and then subscribe, first and last name. If you're looking on TikTok, it's super easy. All you have to do is go to my profile, hit the link, and then there is a thing to sign up for the action trade alerts. And if you sign up for the action trade alerts, I should have the ready list out, the ready list and the watch list. This will just be symbols, but this will be a PDF, hopefully, that I can get out to everyone. Get out essentially to everyone out there. So until tomorrow, I'm going to be on tomorrow at 2:30. Till then, I hope everybody is staying safe and warm. And it's raining here in Dallas. I don't like that, but you got to take the good with the bad. I will see you tomorrow at 2:30. Till then, happy trading.